Welcome back to Strictly Money. The festive season often brings out the generosity of people, but it's also a critical time for charities. Unfortunately, economic worries have had negative repercussions on many charitable organizations, especially the smaller ones. Joining me with her insights is Shannon Craig. She's Chief Marketing and Product Officer at CanadaHelps, our country's largest platform for donating and fundraising online. Shannon, great to have you on.
Thank you for having me.
Shannon, I just had Cheryl Ketty Scott from Village of Hope, which is a food bank, on to discuss how inflation has dramatically increased the need for food. It's affected donations. I'm imagining that you're experiencing something similar.
Absolutely. In fact, we wanted to really understand this. And so Canada Helps commissioned Ipsos to do a recent poll in October. And what we're seeing from that poll is that out of 10 Canadians, so 22% of Canadians, say they plan to access charitable services to meet essential needs such as food, shelter, and clothing in the next 6 months. And that's dramatically up from a similar poll we did with Ipsos in January 2022, when that same response was just 14% of Canadians needing to access charitable services to meet basic needs.
Wow. So, Shannon, I have to think that there's a lot of some like competing attention, right? Like things like this where it's absolutely necessary. Um, we have the Ukraine conflict. So which charitable organizations are feeling it more than others?
Well, I think it's so diverse. There is such diversity in the charitable sector. And so I think, and if we start to look back, it's really been a sector under stress since the pandemic. And so there's certain organizations, arts charities, and charities doing phenomenal work supporting our communities that have actually seen a decrease in demand. And, not all of them have recovered. In fact, two-thirds of those ones that received a reduction in demand at the start of the pandemic have not yet gone back to pre-demand levels. But at the same time, those, really serving essential needs such as food banks and so forth, they've had a dramatic increase, and very few of them have gone back to pre-pandemic levels. In fact, most of them continue to increase their demand. So it really is a trying time for the sector. Where we have seen is that, many Canadians also are feeling the stress, turning to charitable services, but also with softening donations.
Yeah. So are charities also dealing with higher expenses?
Absolutely. So we did a study in the summer of smaller charities, and smaller charities in particular have the greatest impact right now. We've been seeing this prior to the pandemic, but with the pandemic, smaller charities really are struggling, to the point that 59% of small charities right now demand exceeds their capacity, and only 27% say they have sufficient capacity to meet demand.
Wow. Now I understand. I mean, they have year-end goals, if I'm correct. So there is a danger of many missing those. What's the implication if that happens?
It's really about servicing people in our communities. As we look and we see, those numbers of people needing to access for basic needs going from 14% in January up to 22% in our panel in October, that's huge demand. And, when you're working with less, it becomes very difficult and challenging decisions. They're trying to meet the demand, but they're doing so with less. And so ultimately it's service delivery.
Okay. We have just over a minute till the commercial break. Shannon, Canada Helps. It's a nonprofit organization. It's a one-stop shop for fundraising. How have you and the organization been able to help mitigate some of these challenges?
Well, because we've been around for over 20 years, helping Canadians, give to the charities they care about, all of the charities in one place, we've been really going out hard, trying to connect with them. We've been really trying to share with them what charities are facing, the challenges that they're facing, and inspiring them to give where they're able. In addition, we are behind the Giving Tuesday movement. So Giving Tuesday, it's right around the corner. It's happening this Tuesday, November 29th, a day for giving back after 2 days of commerce, Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And so we really get behind this movement. We really teach small charities and all charities how to embrace it and encourage corporations and individuals, everyone to get involved, to take this day to show that giving back matters in whatever way you're able, whether that be committing to volunteer, making a donation is probably the easiest way, but also spreading the word.
Okay, and I know they can go on your site and learn about different or charities. We'll continue this conversation. We'll just take a quick break. Welcome back. I'm Shannon. Just before the break, you were talking about ways that Canadians can support charitable organizations. For those who want to donate and they're budget conscious, there are still ways that they can support causes they care about. Correct. So let's run through some of the ideas, and we'll bring up a board as well. Donating securities. How does that work?
Okay, so when you donate a gift to securities, you can avoid the capital gains tax. So, in addition to the federal and provincial tax credits, you avoid the capital gains tax. And so, by donating the asset rather than the cash proceeds, you can make a larger gift to the charity that you care about, as well as receive a larger tax receipt. So, it's really a fantastic way for anyone with assets that have grown in value to give back this holiday season.
Okay, and then how do charities benefit from this then?
Well, so it's really just like funding their coffers. But at Canada Helps, we offer the ability for charities to accept these gifts online. So we do all the facilitation for them, and those funds just arrive right in their bank account, and we even do all the tax receiving for the donor. And really, what it means for the charity is that because they're getting the gift of the proceeds of the sale right after it's been sold, rather than after it's the donor needs to take off those taxes, they get a larger gift and
Okay,
that larger tax receipt.
right. And then non-financial ways as well, right? There's many of those.
Absolutely. So, as well as charitable gift cards are a great stocking stuffer and a great gift alternative. In fact, 47% of Canadians say they'd prefer to receive a charitable gift over a gift like such as a bottle of wine or technology and so forth. So, that is also a great way. But non-financial ways, there's donating blood, donating clothing that you no longer need, helping your food shelter with food donations as well. There's so many ways to give back.
Have you noticed, Shannon, that people are volunteering more?
Well, I think that the sector is still recovering on that front as well. After the pandemic, many people were heavily committed. Once you break a habit, it's hard to reform. So we're still in a build back mode, I think, for many charities on that front. So volunteering is a fantastic way to get involved.
Okay. What are you hearing from charities? I mean, what would help them?
I think they love supporters, they love volunteers. There's no doubt about that. But at the end of the day, at this time of year when we're under such stress with, increased demand and donations slightly softening, really I think those financial gifts really matter at this point in time. But given in any way you can, I also think sometimes just getting out and sharing across your network, letting people know the impact that an organization you care about is having is a fantastic way to support an organization, inspire others to support that organization as well.
Yeah. You mentioned, Shannon, Giving Tuesday. So that kicks off November 29th. Tell us about that a little bit more. And what are you hoping to see? What would success look like this year?
Right. So, Giving Tuesday is this fantastic movement. It grows every year. We have some data that suggests that 6 million Canadians participate. That's in whatever way they can, committing to volunteer, share, spreading the word, making financial gifts. My hope is that Giving Tuesday could be bigger than Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Let's make the day of generosity the biggest day of the year.
And so for viewers, they can go to your website, Canada
Yes.
Helps. And how does that work? We have about 45 seconds.
Excellent. So they can go to CanadaHelps.org. They can search for any of Canada's registered charities, get to know those charities, and then they can choose the way they want to give. One-time donations. They can make a charity gift card, send an e-card with announcing a gift to a specific charity. Any of the ways that they want to give, and they can spread that through social using that hashtag GivingTuesdayCA to really help others, inspire them to participate on the day as well.
Okay, Shannon, we really appreciate you coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much. Shannon Craig from Canada Helps. Well, that wraps up this edition of Strictly Money. And remember that it is Financial Literacy Month here in Canada. So please take this opportunity to learn about finances, whether that's budgeting or investing or even protecting your wealth. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again next week.